You're listening to Biz-Souls, the business podcast with an edge, hosted by me, Rona and Jeffrey Hansler. Tune in for perspectives and discoveries about the changing world of business. It's time to connect to the heart, soul, and humor of how business gets done. Hi kids, welcome to Biz-Souls. I'm Rona Lewis.
I'm Jeffrey Hansler, and we get to the heart and soul of business and the people that make it happen.
Indeed, we do.
I've got my deep voice going.
Yes, we do.
Hopefully it lasts.
You Barry White person, you.
Exactly. It's Barry and I. We're like this.
Sort of. Anyway, so we're going to talk about return on investment and psychological safety, which sound like a kind of a weird combination. And I saw, I don't know if it was Harvard Business Review or something, there was like an article on it. And I thought, this is great because you hate ROI and,
I don't hate it.
Well, dislike the concept.
No. It's overused. And most importantly, it's used in the wrong. It needs to be applied at a certain level within a certain framework of a system.
There's a time and a place for everything.
Which is why I really like this topic, so that we get to talk about this.
Yeah. And I talk a lot about psychological safety and in play, because you can't play without being psychologically safe. And overall, it's the comfort level of a team, an organization, a whole culture for sharing ideas, giving feedback, not being afraid to be judged, and, problem solving, taking risks and all that kind of stuff. So can you have, can they work together? What
Absolutely.
do you think?
I absolutely think they can work together. So my framework on it is there is a time for ROI. So ROI is return on investment, and everybody wants a return on investment. So let's say you manufacture something, manufacture a component, the camera component. So, and it costs you to just put the component together, $60. You're going to turn around and sell that for, say, $120. And that $60 that you bring in above what it costs you to make, that goes to paying your fixed costs.
Okay.
And that's how you get to profitability. You've got to have ROI at a certain point.
Yeah.
The problem is there's a couple that talk about ROI in training, and that's where they're bleeding into where I think ROI is a real problem.
I agree.
So Elon Musk tweeted when, again.
Do you have to add?
I love Elon.
Every single podcast, Elon Musk.
When his third booster rocket crashed, they were trying to re-land him.
Right.
And when the third one crashed, he goes, well, at least the pieces were bigger. Now, it's a perfect message. And I say this all the time. It's a perfect message for the investors, for his employees, because they were trying to do something new.
Yeah.
They were trying to change something. And ROI really doesn't have a point in that. It's designed that if you can figure it out, you'll get a return on investment.
Yeah.
During that time, that innovation point, you're throwing a lot of money away.
Yeah.
And in training, a lot of times, trying to do something new or being innovative and creative, it's not about a return on investment. If you think too much about return on investment, you're not going to go the distance. You're not going to do the right thing.
Absolutely. When I talk about, when I go in and I talk about play and team bonding, they're like, well, what's the ROI? I was like, there is none. What are you comparing it to? You can't. There always is, because it's a value. You can see it as opposed to measuring it. How can you measure the benefit of play except by seeing your employee engagement increase?
So, and let me add to that.
Sure.
If I can, add to that. My voice just changed. So what you're trying to do when you're playing is you're trying to break down the barriers that have built up with people in communication. And you don't know exactly how to break down those barriers because you don't know how they were formed or how deep they are or everything else. So this is where
you don't. I've been doing this for a while. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
You want a psychologically safe place, obviously.
Yeah.
And what you're trying to do is see if you can break down the barriers. And what play is about is all these different elements that come in that can possibly do something that just going through a logical, measured process is not going to deliver.
No.
And so in that case, exactly you shouldn't be worried about. So Play in that case doesn't have an ROI because you can't measure how much those barriers are affecting the future productive work. And that's the problem I have with everybody tries to do an ROI. That's not the time for it.
Right.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow. There's a time for ROI, and there's a time for creativity.
I thought you were going to start to sing that song. A time to. Please don't ask me to sing ever.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah.
Oh, we have to come back to that. We did our very first unpublished podcast is with us singing.
With us singing. Of,
it is
with Sue Fink from the Angel City Chorale here in Los Angeles. She's a pistol. She's fabulous, and we suck at singing.
Well, we did it about learning something new and going outside your comfort zone. We haven't circled back around.
It's been over 2 years.
That's okay.
Forgot.
That's okay. Yeah, she may have forgotten. Okay. We'll play for her. Anyway.
We digress. Once again, we digress.
Exactly.
Anyway, we were psychologically safe enough to be able to digress with each other.
Considering my
with
voice.
With no ROI.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think it's super important. If you do have an ROI, if you're working with a team who builds something or sells something concrete, where an ROI is necessary or is a part of what you measure, psychological safety should go with it because you will get better employee engagement and communication and things like that, and things will run smoothly because you will have what I call the 4 pillars of leadership or communication, which are the same as play.
Right.
Trust, authenticity, transparency, and vulnerability.
Sure.
So
for me, it's models.
Yes, you love models.
There's creativity.
There's trains. All of them. I'm kidding. There's not right.
There's a creativity phase, and then there's the innovation phase. The creativity is about wacky, wild. It's about quantity. It's about no judgment.
Divergent thinking.
Yeah. Innovation is about matching resources to those creative ideas to see which one is going to get you the best return on your investment. So ROI isn't in the creativity. It may take a while. The thing is people say, okay, we do creativity and then we do innovation, and they see them as set in stone. Mm-hmm. And when you're innovating, there's going to be times when you need creative solutions. So you need psychological safety during the creativity so people can be wild, wacky, and throw out different ideas. Like you can just imagine Elon Musk and his buddies, thinking about, hey, man, we're going to go into space. Hey, and somebody goes, yeah, let's put a colony on the sun. Wow, that's cool. Let's do that. Let's go to Pluto. Oh, yeah, that's creativity. And then when you get to the innovation, hey, maybe the sun's not the best place to start a colony. We got all kinds of issues there.
And burn easily.
Yeah, and, I don't want to be in flight for 10, 15 years. Besides, if something goes wrong, 10 or 15 years to get back from Pluto.
Oh, sorry.
Might be a little long. So maybe
wait till the aliens land and show us how to bend space.
So that's where you're applying currently known resources, and then you're looking for the return on investment. And so that's how I believe they settle on Mars.
Okay.
Not safe like the moon, not too far-fetched out of there.
Or Venus, which is even closer and still gets a little toasty. So
yeah. So those things go on. Same thing with change and learning. You've got this phase of, okay, what do we need to change? What do we need to work on? Where do we think we're going to work? And you should be psychologically safe to come up with those wild and wacky ideas.
Yeah.
And then you have the innovation phase where you come in and you say, okay, what are the resources we have? What is it we want to accomplish? What are the targets? And with that, then you can start looking at ROI. It's just that people, I think they use ROI to sound like they know what they're talking about with finance.
Right.
And it's like, and you've got, all you got is a hammer. Everything's a nail, right?
That's true. So can I read these? I actually have.
Please.
So I looked up stuff. Look, I did research. Yay. So there's a Harvard business.
I am so proud of her.
Thank you. So there's an article from 2017. High performing teams need psychological safety. Here's how it's created, which I just destroyed the spelling. Research shows that psychological safety in the workplace leads to higher employee engagement, innovation, and overall performance, and that improves mental health programs, things like that. And then that those mental health programs can have a positive return on investment, ROI, when they support employees' well-being and reduce workplace hazards.
Absolutely.
So that's how that comes together. And wait, I have one more. It says barriers to breakthrough, why psychological safety may not be enough. Oh no, that's from Deloitte. And it argues that while psychological safety is vital for workplace success, it may not be alone. It's not going to foster the level of openness, risk-taking, and innovation that businesses need. So along with that, you need curiosity and resilience, empowerment. All those things will help the ROI.
And this is, well, okay, so now this is where it gets muddied.
I think so too.
Because managers and leadership are afraid to fully commit to these creativity steps.
Yeah.
Because they're still hanging on to ROI. It's like you can't get to the island and still hold on to the dock on the other side of, the channel or the body of water. You've got to let go of the dock. And if you're concerned about ROI during these creativity and innovation stuff, it's going to impede your ability to be creative, to create a safe space, to be, what was the other two you mentioned?
The trust, vulnerability, authenticity, and transparency.
Yeah, you can't be vulnerable if you're hanging on to ROI, because then you're stuck in what I refer to as hero leadership, which is I have to be right, I have to have all the answers. You can't be vulnerable and say, I don't know. Absolutely.
And so basically what we're saying is throw out ROI and it will magically appear after you get all the nifty ideas. It's magic. That's amazing how that works. I'm sorry, is my voice getting higher? Soon only dogs will be able to hear it.
We've peaked over here. Okay. The porpoises and the dolphins are now calling, going, what the heck is going on?
That's because we're close to the beach. Anyway, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I think this is great. I think it's a great topic, and I really would like to go in this more. And I love you go from extremes. Throw out ROI. You don't want to throw it. You don't want to throw it out.
No, because
it belongs in one box. And when you're in that box,
stick it in the corner. Yeah, pack it away and then bring it out.
Yeah, and when you're in the other boxes, you do it. It's like if you're playing in the mud, it's just a free for all. It's great. And then when you need to do something with the mud, turn it into clay or something, that's different.
Basically, look, ROI is
that's a terrible
the
analogy.
Black pen. Okay. Take the black pen, put it away, and bring out all your other colored pens and pencils.
Oh, that's a great
analogy. And then you can use your black pen when you're done. Thank you very much. What a creative girl I am.
You are. That's very, very good. And the thing is, and usually you're doing a plug for us speaking and stuff like that. The thing is.
Really? We speak?
Yeah, exactly.
And do workshops? Wow.
Look. So in the programs I've been doing, I've been approaching them completely different, where I'm demonstrating more of this vulnerability side. Because the one thing, and I know you've been doing it, the one thing organizations want is they want innovation.
Right.
And the thing I'm finding, and they're asking, leadership is asking how do we get more innovative? How do we get more creative? And yet they're holding on to that ROI dock, and they're not letting go. And I think if they will bring in people that can walk the walk and talk about that from a substance standpoint, people that have experience with this stuff.
You want someone of substance.
Then I think they're going to get it. And if they will have the courage as leadership to let go of the dock as well.
Well, yeah, I think that should be the fifth category of leadership is courage. Risk-taking, courage. I know a lot of managers and leaders who are afraid to pull the trigger on that innovation and creativity and really push the psychological safety, because if things go wrong, they're blamed and they don't want to be blamed. And so they lead from a place of fear, which goes back to your hero leadership. And See how that works?
Yeah, exactly. And I think Clayton Christensen's book, The Innovator's Dilemma, I think that is, that was about how companies make innovative products and what gets in the way of it. And it's the reward system and the punishment systems for managers and the need to be successful and how they have to get them out of that environment to do something. I think that his concept applies to every aspect of business. If you want to change a department, if you want to change a process, you want to come up with a new way of thinking, you're going to have to develop the reward system so that it recognizes
cookies.
There are different...
Yeah, give them cookies.
Exactly. There are different...
Work for me.
There are different times or different sections.
I threw you up with the cookies, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm still thinking about the cookies. So anyway. All right.
We good?
Yeah, we're golden. We're golden.
Okay, so
we're chocolate
bottom
chip.
line is
we're chocolate chips and vanilla ice cream.
Well, I like the oatmeal chip better.
Okay, oatmeal chip.
Saying.
And...
So just so anyone knows, who if you bake cookies, that's what I want.
Okay, very good.
All right. So yeah, bottom line, ROI. Put it on the side for a while. Get that psychological safety. Get those ideas, and then bring it back out. Yeah. Here's your black pen.
Okay, right. Very good.
That is it for us. I am Rona Lewis.
I'm Jeffrey Hansler.
And this has been Biz-Souls. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you like the podcast, if you like what we're doing, please hit that like button, subscribe. We need the numbers.
Of course we do. We're getting there. We're getting really close to.
And we're available for weddings and bar mitzvahs and talks and workshops and all that kind of stuff. All right, now we're done.
All
right, we'll see you later. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Biz-Souls podcast with your hosts, Rona Lewis and Jeffrey Hansler. Did you have fun? Subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very much appreciated. Talk to you next week.